Hello, it's Mike with TradeWinds RV Center here to walk you around your Coachman Clipper 1285 SST pop-up travel trailer. Show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when you're parking. Remember, once you get this up, you are going to have a awning to leave room for on this side. On your off-camp side, you're going to have a big slide that comes out here. And then I want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. So park accordingly so you can utilize facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch up front. First thing we do is level our unit. Our unit is big enough. I always set a level right up here on top of this. Come up top. Hand crank this up or down until your unit is level. So I had to come down a little bit. Once we get our unit level, next thing we do is stabilize it. Now all four corners of your unit, fire up here, you're gonna have these stabilizing jacks. So next thing we're gonna do is stabilize these. 3/4 inch hand crank. Can't use drill gun on these, but you're so close to the ground with these, let's just run them down by hand. As I run them down, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. This one here in particular, I'm going to have to turn to get the best use out of that. But whatever kind you get some of those. It's going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris, keep them from sinking into the ground. Run these down just until it's taut. Once you've got some type of resistance on that, you're down as far as you need to go. Run all four of them down, got our unit level and stable, and hook up our power and water. Big long 30 amp cord here, plugs in here on the rear. A pistol grip there, turns to the right and you're locked in. Now at the end of that, should you need to plug into a 110, and your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Now we'll hold off on hooking up the water. Before I open this up, I'm going to go ahead and walk you around the unit real quick. Here we've got a spray port. This is our hot water heater. Our drain plug with plumber's tape around that. We'll get to that here shortly. Here's where our water goes in. And there's our drain plug. A vent for our heater. Spare tire, looks brand new. I recommend getting a cover for that. Leash length, you tie the pet up. On the corner here is going to be so you can plug in solar panels to trickle charge your battery. Access panel is there to that. There's your quick connect LP for your griddle out here. Couple of 110s. Here's your freshwater connection. That's where you fill that up at. A bottle opener. Big storage area up here. And when you remove these cotter pins, you can lift this all up. And this whole thing will slide under the other end. You gotta push that down as well. But big storage up front. Your propane has a regulator over there, lefty loosey to open that. Work on that when we get it open. Your battery, check your battery post now and then, make sure those haven't wiggled loose over time. This is a flue for your furnace. A few things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, steer clear of it if you're running it, because it does get hot. And they do make bug guards that'll go over that. Start unlatching our top here. This will help us pull this slide out once our top is up. And we're back around here. One thing on your hot water heater I want to mention real quick. If it doesn't seem to be working, come out here to see if either one of these are bubbled up. If they are, simply press them back in. They are a reset. Alright. So the first thing we're going to do is we will put this in. It's about 1 1/8. Get that in there nice and snug so that when you do hook your water up later, you know that's all good to go. I will unlatch these. We got our hand crank. Go ahead and lift our unit up.
You got power coming out of there.
As we're coming up, I want you to see this. That's what we're looking to try to get taut here. All right, move our bar. It's pretty taut. Go ahead, grab a hold of this bed, pull it all the way to the front. So it kind of snapped up as I pulled it to the end. Same thing down here. So kind of dip. Yeah, it'll come up as it locks up in there. All right, let's bring our corners around here. It's going to protect our corners, and then it's going to Velcro underneath here. Two-handed job here. I'm gonna go around and get that done. All right, so I went around, tucked around all my corners. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in my safety bars. So you got two of these, a chiseled end and a squared end. Squared end goes on the bottom, chiseled end up top. Slide that up in there, force that up in there straight. Now this is your safety bar. Got one in the front left, I got the other one in the rear right. So whatever corner you put it in the kitty corner of that. Now we're gonna go around the unit and zip down all these corners here. Pretty close to the bottom. And these will Velcro over those. I'm gonna bring this slide out, crank this to the left. Give this a nice little pull. That'll lock out for you. And then once I pulled this out, we don't want to connect any of these corners yet until we get this bar up in there. You'll see why, because we need to tuck up underneath it. So all the rest of the ones, we're going to go around, go inside and push our bars out. All right. This little handle, we'll bring our step down. To the left is our lighting. That won't turn on until I lift this table up, which we'll go ahead and do right now. Grab this bar, watch your fingers so they don't pinch. That little knobs right there is what's going to turn your light on when the weight of this sets on it. There's your lighting. Here's our other one. Now we're up in here, we can go ahead and get our bunk ends out. So each end is going to have a flat end that'll pop on there. And then what I call a shepherd's hook, hooked up there, straight down here. Tuck that up in there. This is going to lift up and push out. And then the curve of this is going to tuck right in there. That's how that sets up. You can pull your netting up. Repeat the process on this end, as well as our dinette area here. So I'll get the bar for that. That should be this shorter one. which we'll go ahead and put this on here now. Snap that in there with curved end up, so that when we lift and push this out, see, got a ways to go. Get this up here with another hand here. It is pretty much a two-hand job to push that out and tuck that up in there as well. Got that out. Go ahead and bring your door down. It's going to unsnap here and there. It's going to swing down. Those cables are then going to slide all the way over to the door, and then we'll connect that door. Can release this end first. Bring this down a little bit. Release the other end. So now a couple things swinging this door into place. As you bring it down, be careful of the handle on this little storage compartment here. When you spring that in, this lip is going to fit onto the metal lip that's already up here. Then you tuck that in, come outside, and now we Velcro it all in. Again, a two-hand job to get that lined up and go up through there, as well as on this side. Let's get that done real quick. Same thing on these. We'll zip these down, bring all this Velcro out, and button up the ship. Also, before doing them, once we push these bunks out, we'll come out here, pull these around the corners. These are going to protect these corners. And then I'm going to take this string, pull it up underneath, and where we Velcro that, that will go into a little hole there, and everything's Velcroed under here. That's how this snaps across there. That'll seal the ends up. Now if that's up, we can see where this will Velcro down. It's easier to see from the inside. That'll Velcro down onto that Velcro and seal this off. Again, a lot of these are two-handed jobs. Same thing on this end. Securing our ends here as well. Let's get that all buttoned up. I got a few things set up in here. I'm going to walk you around a couple things here. As soon as you come in the unit, there's your fire extinguisher. Down here's your charging port. Exterior lights, some interior lighting, some storage here. Just a fan and light. There's two of those. Those hook up over your bed. I'll show you where them hook up. Real quick, you come in, this will be down. Bring that up. You've got storage up underneath those. Over here, you've got your breaker box and fuses. A ton of 15s, a 30 and a 40. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Your sofa here, I'll show you this storage as well. Your sofa here will slide forward. It's got feet on it. And turn into a bed. Or, as you bring it back, you got to have it back up the first time. As you push it back, let me move this cushion real quick. As you push it back, you slide your cushion forward. Now you've got a backer for your sofa. Means the bed should be a little bit further out until that locks. Let me get that out real quick. So that would flip up so you actually have a backer for this. Coming over to our kitchen side. Sink here. Once you go ahead and set this all up, you can go ahead and turn on that city water outside. Open up these lines. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. And then you can shut them off. Now for dry camping, just real quick, what you're going to do is over here on the campsite, you have to fill up this freshwater tank. Now as you're filling that, there's a spot I'm going to show you where you can watch it fill up. Once it's full, remove that hose, put that cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. That is going to be right there. So only turn on that water pump when you're utilizing your freshwater tank. Down here you've got where you turn on your hot water heater. There's your 12-volt carbon monoxide detector. Down here's our furnace. Crank that up one time. Hear that turn on down there on the end? Now you'll notice when I shut your furnace off, it takes a few minutes for that to cycle through before shutting off. Over here is going to be our 110 with GFCI reset. This is not storage. This is where you turn on and off your hot water heater. You bypass for it. And here's your little Dometic fridge. Settings for that are right here. Propane, turn that on up front. Set this up. There's your sides for it. It's hard to do one-handed, but turn that to light. Use a stick lighter and light these up. So over here we have storage as well as a backer for your sofa. Always zipper down on these. Right there, this table will stand up. Storage over here. There's your heat return, still running. Like I said, it takes a few minutes for that to cycle through. Got another 110 here and here as well. Here's our privacy curtain. Here's our shower curtain for our toilet area. I recommend getting some water down into your little tiny black tank there, just a little bit, so it'll rinse out easier for you. Here's our little spray port, shower handle. Up top here is going to be a max air return vent, and over here are AC with quick returns. Well, I believe that about covers everything in here. Oh, our smoke alarm. We have a little hanger here. And now I think that about covers everything. So the first thing I like to do is put this door away. That's one of the simplest things to do is slide, we'll undo all the Velcro on it. We'll slide those rails this way as we lift the bottom up, snap your bottom up first, and then go up and do those ones. So quite a few important things when we're closing this up. Our sofa over here, we're going to bring these cushions forward so that that wood can fall down flat. Push that back. Make sure that is pushed all the way back. Our cushions over here are tucked in nice and flat. Do that with a set of hands. Well, I see why it's not, and that's because I want to mention again, bring this part down flat. Now these should tuck in there nicely. Alright, so bringing everything down, I am going to send a separate video on your cassette toilet. These are real easy to set up and use. I'll send you a video on that. Now what we're doing is flattening everything down. Before bringing this down, I'm going to bring my bars here. Just going to push that forward. Let's bring these down. Pull that up off the bar, and then we'll store these in here. I like to store the one from each bed under the bed, and then the one from up here we'll store extra. Let me go ahead and pull these in real quick. Alright, we've gotten them down. One other thing we're going to do, we're going to come along and unzip our four corners here. It's going to make everything slide in and tuck away a lot easier, as well as lifting up these locks. So again, be easier with two hands. There we go. Got that one. Just got to push it a little bit. We'll come down here. There's this one, and then this one. Before you bring this last one in, I want to make sure that we bring this down. So you can grab our bar, tip it forward. Again, you see that's where it shuts off your lights. That's these little buttons right here. Water, lights. Alright, we've got all of our locks released. Give a little tug on our corners here to make sure these just slide in. Alright, exiting unit. I'm going to shut off these lights. I'm going to come around and remove our safety bars. Set them like that for now. Again, go along, unzip at all of our corners, come around outside, unvelcro, and unstring our corners. Unhook that. Reset out of there. Lift these velcro corners up, tuck these all up in. I'm just going to release all of our velcro here and zippers. Just going to make everything easier to push in. Lift up at the bottom a little bit. Slide it right in there. Repeat the process down here. Alright, putting this back in, we're going to start with a slide in. On the inside, we're going to go in there and unlock it. It has a lock. To lock that out, we can put it out. Lift up on these. And now that should push in from the outside. Then once that's unlocked, we can come back out here and push this in. You feel that lock in. Now we'll do our ends. Again, we'll be lifting from the middle here and just pushing this straight in. A little easier with two hands here. Then you're going to want to make sure you leave this canvas out here until you get your ends pushed in. And you just lift up on these ends, push that forward. We'll repeat the same thing on the other end. Alright, with our safety bars removed, both ends and sides are now stuck up and in. We can go ahead and start cranking this down. I like to go about halfway, tuck it in, 3/4, tuck it in, and then just bring it right down. Let's get that done. Start tucking. All right, last thing in closing these up is getting all of these snapped on. Get all 4 of those snapped on. We're gonna unhook our power, our water, and head on home. Thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this clipper for many years to come. Happy camping.